Hey everyone. Um, Decided to record a little video. I'm in the bathroom, as you can see. It's the only place I feel safe given the circumstances now. No windows, no line of sight, no danger, no snipers.
Welcome to my home. Enter freely of your own will and leave some of the happiness you bring.
So I've been thinking a lot about the spectacle in our psychotic influencer society lately. I wrote a little bit about it yesterday again, and when I had hit send, I saw that Charlie Kirk, the top right-wing youth influencer, got assassinated. I have to say that I'm not that surprised he got whacked. You could sense the tension in the air. I'm sure I'm not the only one to feel it. The spectacle had gotten too dense, too saturated. The dark psychic energies coursing through it had become too powerful, spinning too fast. There had to be a release at some point.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Wow.
Okay,
Not
so
that a release will help anything other than feeding the spectacle even more and making everyone even more crazy and miserable. And no matter what happens, the spectacle wins. A day after the assassination, and we still don't know who carried out the killing. They haven't caught anyone. And it really could be anyone. It could be a disgruntled liberal boomer. It could be a militant Zoomer. It could be an actual Nazi who's pissed at Charlie for selling out to Israel. It could be some other third party. It could be the CIA. It could be a private operator, MAGA, Navy SEAL guy who did it to rile things up, to give Trump an excuse to crack down.
And he's not getting away again.
So this is how you do things, huh? You tell me what I want to hear, then you go to a gun shop and buy a sniper rifle when you say you're stepping out to get coffee?
It was a pawn shop.
Who knows who did it? And really, I don't want to spend any time on this stuff. Plenty of influencers out there have all sorts of theories, most of them pretty fucking insane, and all of them in line with whatever political brand that they're pushing. And all of them are doing their part to get the spectacle spinning again, pumping it full of dark psychic energies, calling for crackdowns, calling for all sorts of things, bad things. What I want to talk about is the reaction to the assassination, because the hit did something that I haven't seen before. And what that is it really spooked the political influencer class. And really, they are scared. Really scared. It's kind of shocking how scared they are. Many of them spent last night issuing lengthy, serious, grave statements about the seriousness of the situation. Some of them are even calling the assassination a 9/11 type event. I guess a 9/11 for the influencer class. You know, reading a lot of these responses, I can sort of take away a couple of things. The general thrust of them is that, okay, sure, yeah, political assassinations are one thing. Killing a president or a politician, however horrible and unpleasant, you know, are still seen as within the rules of the game, quote unquote. But targeting influencers, targeting political commentators like Charlie Kirk, that's supposed to be off limits. People like him were supposed to be a protected class, right? People like him were supposed to be about the debate, about having political discussions, about having political conversations. These people were supposed to be sort of untouchable, right? They were somehow elevated above everyone else and were not supposed to be harmed. And so seeing the rules change suddenly and seeing such a prominent political influencer targeted like that brazenly in broad daylight in a massive crowd by someone who just shot him and vanished into thin air. I mean, people are panicking and they're scared. And it isn't just the kind of the right wing of the influencer class. It's not just people on Charlie Kirk's team. The liberal and left wings of the influencer class are panicking too, because they see it like this. If a right-wing influencer can be whacked like this, so can they. I'm going to put up on screen, what Konstantin Kisin, this sort of wormy right-wing influencer from England, who actually originally was born in the Soviet Union and came to England as a kid, wrote on X.com. And he lays out kind of clearly what I think everyone in the influencer class is thinking, regardless of their political orientation. I hope I'm wrong, but tonight feels like some sort of invisible line has been crossed that we didn't even know was there. The last time I felt like this was 9/11, when it was clear, without knowing the how and the what, that the world was about to change forever. Like the rules of the game had been permanently altered, and there was simply no going back to the innocent, peaceful past. Yeah, before 9/11, the past was very innocent and very peaceful. It didn't feel like this when an attempt was made on President Trump's life. If I had to rationalize why it didn't, I guess it's because several US presidents have been shot at and even assassinated. Somehow it was within the realms of the possible, no matter how awful. But to murder a young father simply for doing debates and mobilizing young people to vote for a party that represents half of America? This is something else. Charlie's death is a tragedy for his wife, his children, and his family. I don't pray often. I am praying for them tonight. But I fear his murder will be a tragedy for all of us, he means the influencer class, in ways we will only understand as time unfolds. I hope I'm wrong. Reading this, I can't help but think, what did Kisin expect? I mean, did he think that he would never be touched by the real? That everything that he does is just a game, the kind of game that he plays on his PS5? Influencers are at the core of our political culture now. So much moves through them. They are central actors in the spectacle. Many of them are on the feed every day, stirring the psychic chaos, reflecting people's fears and hatreds and petty grievances, and giving these grievances and fears moral power and justification.
What do you want from us?
Inception.
It doesn't even matter what their politics are or whether you or I agree with them or disagree with them. The general pattern of the political influencer is almost always the same. It's about conflict. Conflict is what gets the engagement. Conflict is what keeps people coming back. Conflict is what keeps people plugged into the spectacle. And conflict is what keeps the influencer influencing and making money. The political influencer is a relatively new phenomenon too. Bigger and more numerous and more visible as a class than the talk radio guys, and a lot more unhinged than the cable news personalities. They've risen to the top of the spectacle, made possible by the monopolistic communication technologies that we now all inhabit. All that has allowed them to become kings and queens of the spectacle now, agitating the mass psychosis, exploiting the alienation, the pain, and the anger that's surging through the population. They've been stirring the psychic oceans, working up surges and storms, and then riding these waves to fame and money and political power. Throughout their short existence, they've been insulated from the psychic madness that they've pumped into the spectacle. They've been secure in their nice neighborhoods and big houses and elite institutions, certain that the people they've trapped with the spectacle are too distracted, too enchanted, and too zombified. But this Charlie Kirk assassination changed something for them. It's dawning on them now that the spectacle is not just an abstract entity. They're realizing deep down inside that the spectacle can be made flesh, and that the flesh can be killed, and that this flesh can be theirs.
hoping you'd be back.
I'm here to guide you, Max. I've learned a lot since I last saw you. I've learned that death is not the end. I can help you.
I don't know where I am now. I'm having trouble finding my way around.
That's because you've gone just about as far as you can with the way things are. Videodrome still exists. It's very big, very complex. You've hurt them, but you haven't destroyed them. To do that, you have to go on to the next phase.
What phase is that?
Your body has already done a lot of changing, but that's only the beginning. The beginning of the new flesh. You have to go all the way now. A total transformation. Do you think you're ready?
I guess I am. How do we do it?
To become the new flesh, you first have to kill the old flesh. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to let your body die. Just come to me, Max. Come to Nikki. Watch. I'll show you how. It's easy.
Long live the new flesh.
Still, though, there's little they can do. Yeah, they're at the top of the spectacle, but they're still slaves to it, bound to it more tightly than any of us. They can't exit. They're trapped. And so the spectacle became real for them, but only for a short moment. Charlie Kirk's death has now too been spectacularized, taken out of the real, uploaded to the feed, abstracted and refracted, and reflected through millions of prisms and mirrors. But make no doubt, the spectacle will make landfall again. The spectacle will again become flesh, and the cycle will begin again, and again, and again. And so, what can I say to you? Not much to say, other than we have to figure out a way to exit the spectacle somehow, to exit this vampire castle. And so, don't subscribe, don't share, get off the machines. Have a good day.